They say a bank is supposed to help you protect your money. What happens when a bank starts stealing from the very customers it has promised to protect? What is the story of Boniface Umukoro, the arrogant bank manager, and Mama Chuka, the stubborn old widow who has been standing outside the bank for months, seeking for justice? Many years ago in the city of Asaba, there lived a handsome man named Boniface Umukoro, aka Mr. Boni. Boni was a bank manager at a very big bank in Asaba. He was rich, with deep pockets and a very deep commanding voice, with a towering and intimidating height. Boni was married to a very beautiful woman named Ngozi, a woman who loved nothing but luxury and the good things of life. Ngozi and Boni had 3 children together who had the best of everything in life. Boni was the perfect definition of a made man. He was smart, hardworking, and intelligent. But his character was very dirty. Boni was so corrupt and dirty that if he was a fabric, all the fishes in the river would die if you mistakenly washed the fabric in that river. Boni was greedy with big eyes for big things. And he was very well connected. He had the police, the judges, the lawyers, and even politicians eating from his palm. He was untouchable. Boni was that kind of bank manager who used their pen to steal customers' money. And these customers were helpless customers who could not go against him. Mr. Boni steals the pension and gratuity of old helpless civil servants, and he would look them in the eyes and lie that the government had not paid their gratuity. That was not all. Boni diverts money from the accounts of deceased customers. And even when their families come to the bank to claim the money, even when they provide the necessary document to support their claims, Mr. Boni will use big English and paperwork to frustrate them until they eventually give up. And Mr. Boni, he would smile as his bank account keeps swelling like soaked garri. You want to take him to court? Good luck with that. The chief judge is Mr. Boni's friend, brother, cousin, uncle. If you know, you know. You want to use police to arrest Mr. Boni? The DPO and even the commissioner is Mr. Boni's in-law cousin friend's sister. So Mr. Boni was truly untouchable. One day, an old woman dressed shabbily walked into Mr. Boni's bank. Her name was Mama Chuka. Mama Chuka was a poor old widow. She was a retired teacher who had just lost her only son Chuka and his wife, leaving her with 3 children to fend for. Before Chuka died, he had organized the savings in a way that if anything happened to him or his wife, his children would be adequately taken care of from the money he had saved up. A few months before Chuka died, he called his mother and his wife and gave them bank documents to his account. Mama, honey, please take these documents. Keep them safe. If anything happens to me, go to my bank, present these documents and claim the money to take care of my children. I don't want my children to suffer in my absence, Chuka said with seriousness on his face. His words struck a chord in his mother and his wife's heart, and they started asking questions. Is everything okay? Are you sick? What is going on? The 2 women questioned Chuka with worry on their faces. But Chuka assured them that all was well, that he was only planning for the rainy day, as it was the best thing for him to do as the provider. Little did they know that calamity was about to befall their family. Exactly 3 months after Chuka gave his mother and wife bank documents, him and his wife were involved in a fatal car accident on their way back from Benin City, where they went for a friend's wedding. Mama Chuka was thrown into chaos. She lost her only child and provider, leaving his 3 young children for her. Mama Chuka cried bitterly for weeks, but she held herself back together because of her grandchildren. But the real dilemma started a month after Chuka's death. Mama Chuka and her grandchildren had exhausted all the money and food they had left, and they started suffering. To feed was a challenge. Sending the children back to school was even a greater challenge. Eventually, she withdrew the children from the private school they attended when their father was alive and put them in public schools near the house. But as the days passed, things got even tougher. Uzo, Mama Chuka's youngest grandson, was diabetic from birth. He needed constant insulin injections and medications, which was expensive. Mama Chuka had to sell off her expensive wrappers and jewelries Chuka had gifted her when he was alive to buy those expensive medications. But by the 9th month, Mama Chuka was almost frustrated. Most nights, she went to bed on empty stomach while the children only drank garri. She did some menial jobs around the streets, like washing people's clothes, cleaning people's homes. She even sold vegetable at the market, but it was barely enough to feed 3 children. One night, Mama Chuka laid on her bed and had an outburst. She cried and wailed silently, not to wake the children. She didn't know where their next meal was going to come from. She lay there begging God to show up. Then suddenly, she remembered. Yes, she remembered that Chuka gave her a document to withdraw his savings if anything happened to him. Mama Chuka had completely forgotten about that document. She jumped off the bed and rushed towards her luggage as she kept that document and dug to the bottom to retrieve it. And when she finally held it in her hands, she sighed deeply. It was a sigh of relief, of hope of survival. She decided to go to the bank the next day. The next morning, Mama Chuka told her grandchildren, who were now staying at home full time because they couldn't pay school fees, that she was going to the bank. Emeka, Uzo, Ada, I'm coming oh. I'm going to the bank to get money. If all goes well today, we will eat chicken for dinner, Mama Chuka excitedly announced, and the children rejoiced. Grandma, buy me ice cream on your way back, Uzo called out as she left with excitement on his face. Mama Chuka left the house that day and she stopped by her neighbor's office. His name was Tega. Tega was a young lawyer in a small backyard law firm. Mama Chuka showed Tega the document and asked if she could withdraw the money Chuka left behind. My son, help me and check it well. Can I withdraw the money with this paper? I don't want to go there and waste my time, oh. So I said, let me come and meet you first. Tega took a good look at the document for some minutes and said, Mama, everything is intact. You should be able to get your son's money. When you get to the bank, tell them you want to see the bank manager. I'm sure he would help you. If only they knew. Mama Chuka left Tega's office and went straight to the bank. When she got there, she told the security man that she wanted to see the bank manager. The gate man scanned the old woman from head to toe who wanted to see their rich manager and asked, Mama, I beg, move aside. You can't come and beg in a bank now. Go to the market and beg. The security man said rather harshly and shoved her aside without a care in the world and went back to his work, opening doors for customers and smiling at the rich ones and asking, anything for the boys? Mama Chuka stood under the sun for over an hour. She tried to explain that she wanted to withdraw her son's money and she needed to see the bank manager. She even brought out the document to show the security man, but he didn't even spare her a second glance. He just carried on with what he was doing until a woman wearing rich Akara gown, a regular customer at the bank, shouted at him, Oga, is this how you people treat your customers? This woman has been standing here for over an hour and you have refused to open for her to enter. I met her here and I'm done with what I came here for and she's still here. My friend, open the door for her before you lose your job, the woman yelled. That was when the security man reluctantly opened the door for Mama Chuka to enter the bank. The woman accompanied her into the banking hall so the staff would not look down on her. Mama, why do you want to see the manager? The woman asked. My daughter, I came to withdraw my late son's money, Mama Chuka said as she showed the woman the document. The woman, with a loud voice like thunder, yelled at the staff to take Mama Chuka to the manager's office, which was Boniface Umukoro's office. Thank you, my daughter. God will open doors for you. Mama Chuka prayed for the woman and followed the staff to Mr. Bonny's office. When she entered Mr. Bonny's office, he scanned Mama Chuka from head to toe and asked why she wanted to see him. Mama, what can I do for you today? They said you want to see the manager. Yes, sir. I came to withdraw my son's money. Chuka, he left money for me and his children. Mama Chuka said as she handed Mr. Bonny the document. Mr. Bonny typed the details on the document into his computer and was shocked at what he saw. There was 30,450,000 naira, 97 kobo in the account. When Mr. Bonny saw the amount, his big eyes shone with excitement. This money will buy me that new Jeep I've been eyeing, he muttered under his breath. His greed overwhelmed his entire being, but he quickly composed himself and quickly transferred the money into his special account, leaving just 5,000 naira, 97 kobo in the account. Madam, I'm looking at your son's account now, and I can't find anything substantial here. He has just 5,000 naira in that account, Mr. Bonny said innocently. What he didn't know was that Mama Chuka knew the exact money in the account. Manager, that is impossible. Check very well. I know there is money inside the account. My grandchildren are hungry at home. I need to withdraw some of the money to buy food for us to eat. Manager, I don't even have transport to go back home, Mama Chuka said with worry on her face. Madam, will I lie to you? See it now. Abi, you want to teach me my work? There's nothing here, Mr. Bonny insisted more aggressively this time, sounding irritated. Mama Chuka tried to explain that she in fact knew the exact amount in the account, but Mr. Bonny cut her off harshly and asked her to get out of his office. Mama Chuka fell on her knees begging. Mr. Bonny's greed did not let him see road. He ordered the security guard from earlier to evacuate Mama Chuka from the bank premises. Mama Chuka couldn't believe her eyes. It was like film trick, what Mr. Bonny did. But that was only the beginning. Mama Chuka stood outside the bank for hours, till the last customer left the bank, till the last staff left the bank, till the manager drove his exotic GLE past her, and he didn't even spare her a second glance. Mama Chuka cried bitterly. Her hope of survival was dashed. Mr. Bonny had shown her Shege Pro Max in broad daylight. She had to beg a good Samaritan to help her pay her transport back home. With empty pockets, empty stomach, empty hope, Mama Chuka returned home dejected. And when she saw the faces of her hungry grandchildren, she almost lost it. She held her tears back from spilling. That evening, she went to Tega's apartment to beg for Gary for the children to eat for dinner, and also to tell him about her ordeal at the bank. Eh? The manager said what? Did you not show him the document? How is that even possible? Tega asked with confusion on his face. My pikin, I weak oh. I saw the amount on the document and the balance on Chuka's phone, so I cannot understand how the money disappeared. That night, Tega checked the phone Chuka left behind and he saw a debit alert on the account. Mama, see now, there's a debit alert here. They have transferred all the money from the account to another account. Mama, the manager is lying. You need to go back to the bank tomorrow and show them this transaction alert. That night, Mama Chuka laid in bed and stared at the ceiling in deep thought. How can somebody be this wicked? Mr. Bonny played her 419 inside the bank in broad daylight. She made up her mind that night to get her late son's money back, no matter what, even if it was the last thing she did. Her grandchildren needed that money. The next morning, Mama Chuka dressed herself in her best outfit and went back to the bank to show them the alerts she got, but they told her the manager was not on seat. Mama Chuka sat there on empty stomach for hours and nobody even spared her a glance or asked what the problem was. At the end of the day, they asked her to leave. Mama Chuka left, but the next day, she returned, and the next, and the next, and after a week, they didn't let her enter the banking hall. Mr. Bonny had given instructions to the security not to let Mama Chuka enter the bank premises. That day, Mama Chuka stood outside under the hot sun for hours, begging, but nobody listened. Some of the other customers thought she was even a beggar. This continued for days until Mama Chuka reached her limit. She got up one morning and went straight to the police station to report the fraudulent act Mr. Bonny had done to her. But when they heard Mr. Bonny's name, they used big English to confuse Mama Chuka. Madam, why did you not report this issue immediately? It is too late. You should have come to the station immediately. There's nothing we can do for you, Mama. Just go home and leave everything for God, the DPO said. Mama Chuka couldn't believe her ears. Leave everything for God? It was clear that Mr. Bonny was a powerful man, but Mama Chuka was also a stubborn woman. She went back home and told Tega everything, and Tega promised to follow her to the bank to see the bank manager. But a few days after Tega followed Mama Chuka to confront Mr. Bonny in his office, he was sacked from his job without any reason. Mr. Bonny had used his long legs and connections to make sure Tega was helpless and jobless. One day, something terrible happened. Uzo fell seriously sick because of his diabetes, and Mama Chuka could not buy his medications. And one night he collapsed. Mama Chuka rushed him to the nearest clinic, but they told her to first make a deposit before treatment can be carried out on the boy. But there was no money anywhere. Mama Chuka knelt down and begged and cried, but the nurses just ignored her and her grandson. And by morning, Uzo was gone. Mama Chuka stared at Uzo's lifeless body, and something snapped inside her. His death could have been prevented, but Mr. Bonny decided to take food right from their mouth, and now the child Chuka had left behind was dead. She carried Uzo's dead body and went straight to the bank. She sat by the gate and wailed on top of her voice. Mr. Bonny had taken food from me and my grandchildren's mouths. Mr. Bonny had killed my grandson. Somebody help me. God, help me fight this man, she cried bitterly. Before you know, people started gathering in front of the bank. Customers started asking questions. The security man who saw everything rushed to Mr. Bonny's office and told him about the chaos unfolding outside the bank. Sir, that woman is here again, oh. She said you killed her grandson and that you took food from their mouth. She's cursing you, oh, the security man said. Let her keep cursing me. What can her curse do to me? Call the police station to come and evacuate that nuisance from my premises, Mr. Bonny said, spewing venom. That day, the police came with their van and dragged Mama Chuka and Uzo's body out like rags. They took Mama Chuka to the station, but released her in the evening to go and bury her dead. Mama Chuka got home that night and she took Emeka and Ada to the neighbor's house. She couldn't bring herself to tell them that Uzo had died. She only told them to stay with the neighbors for a few days. Mama Chuka went back home to their house and buried Uzo at the back of their house with the help of Tega. And by the time she returned to their living room, the dam finally broke. Mama Chuka cried and wailed, calling Chuka and his wife not to sleep in their graves. Chuka, are you sleeping in your graves? Mr. Bonny had taken the money you left for us, oh. Chuka, get up from your grave and fight for your children, oh. Uzo is dead. Fight for your remaining 2 children. I'm tired, she wailed bitterly. The next morning, Mama Chuka, who was mad with grief and had almost lost hope for living, dressed herself in rags and went to the bank. She stood right in front of the gate. She didn't shout. She didn't speak to anyone or answer questions from anybody. She didn't even cry. She just stood there, staring at the bank building, staring at Mr. Bonny's window with a lifeless expression. People stared at her and wondered if she was mad. Yes, she was mad with grief. The security man told Mr. Bonny that Mama Chuka had returned, and he said, "Leave the old hag there. As long as she's not disrupting my business, I don't have a problem. When she's tired, she will go home." But will Mama Chuka get tired? The next day she returned and stood in that same spot. People stared. The sun beat her mercilessly, and when it rained, the rain started on her head and ended on her head. But she didn't leave. She was determined to die in front of that bank or get her son's money back. The next day she returned, and the next, and the next. 1 month passed, 2 months passed, and 3 months passed. Soon, the bank customers and people around got used to seeing the strange woman wearing tattered clothes standing in front of the bank day in, day out. They regarded her as the village mad woman who was an eyesore, but everybody just learned to live with her. The sight was no longer strange to the customers and passerby. Sometimes they threw money and pieces of food in her direction, but Mama Chuka would not even spare them a glance. Her eyes was fixed on that damn bank, and Mr. Bonny, he couldn't care less. He bought the Lexus Jeep he had eyes on and shared small money to the other bankers in the bank to shut their mouths. And they all forgot about the old woman and carried on with their lives. But the heavens did not forget. The earth saw everything that happened and did not forget. 1 month after Mr. Bonny bought his cursed Lexus, strange things started happening in his household. His children were always sick. Every week, there was always an emergency. Always a blood transfusion for children that were always healthy. And then the cursed Lexus was always involved in accidents. Mr. Bonny kept wasting money on things that even he couldn't understand. It was like all the money he makes was thrown into fire. One day, he visited his witch doctor in his house in Asaba. The old man's name was Baba Gbeleyakwa, meaning Baba killed them all. Mr. Bonny told the witch doctor all the misfortune he had been experiencing in his life and family. And Baba told him that death was following him. He told him that his Lexus, which was parked outside his house, was cursed because he bought the car with a cursed money belonging to a dead man. Baba, what can I do? Help me, please, Mr. Bonny begged desperately. My son, return the money to the person whose money you have used to buy that car. Beg for forgiveness and the plague would stop. But did Mr. Bonny heed Baba's advice? He didn't. That week, he sold the cursed Lexus and used the money to buy another Jeep, thinking the cost will end once he disposes of the Lexus. But the night he brought home the new car, something terrible happened. His first son, who complained of a mild fever the previous night, slept and never woke up. Fear gripped Mr. Bonny. It was then it dawned on him that he was in deep trouble. He rushed back to Baba Gbeleyakwa's house to seek for shelter, but Baba told him that if he didn't do the right thing, the death will continue until every member of his household will perish. The sins of the father will be visited upon the children. The old man said. Mr. Bonny got into his new Jeep and drove home, but he never made it home. Mr. Bonny was involved in a ghastly car accident on his way home. He didn't die, no, but he wished he was dead. Mr. Bonny lost his both legs in the accident, but that was not all. Glass shards from his new Jeep entered into his eyes and blinded him. So Mr. Bonny was now a crippled blind man. When he regained consciousness at the hospital, he quickly called his wife and gave her instructions to withdraw all the money from his account and locate Mama Chuka and ask for forgiveness. His wife was confused at first, but Mr. Bonny confessed all he did to Mama Chuka. Ngozi, who was terrified, quickly ran to the bank to withdraw the money and located Mama Chuka, who was still standing in front of the bank. She fell to her knees in front of Mama Chuka, begging for her life and her children's life. Mama, please, my husband told me all he did to you. Mama, please forgive us. My children are innocent. I am innocent, oh. Please forgive us, Ngozi cried out and begged desperately. Mama Chuka demanded for her son's money back. I want my son's money back. No more, no less. I don't want your cost money. That day, Mama Chuka took 30,495,000 naira from the money Ngozi brought. She rejected the rest and left the bank and never turned back. That night, Ngozi packed her things and disappeared with her children, with the remaining money, leaving Mr. Bonny to suffer alone in the hospital. But that was not all. Mr. Bonny received an appointment termination letter right on his sick bed. He lost his family, his job that he valued so much and used to oppress people, and all his friends and associates abandoned him at the hospital. And it became a special charity case to those who took pity on him at the hospital. Mr. Bonny regretted his life, but it was already too late. The other workers at the bank who were corrupt were all laid off in a space of 1 week. Mama Chuka returned home to her grandchildren with Chuka's money. She invested it wisely so Emeka and Ada would never have to suffer until they could fend for themselves. The family mourned Uzo's death, but the damage was already done and the scar was very deep in their hearts. But they all forged ahead with new hope of survival. Thank you for watching. Hi lovelies, what do you think of the story? What morals have you learned from the story? The moral of this story is that we should be careful where we save our money. Yes, it is good to save for the rainy day, but where you save it matters a lot. Many families have lost their hard-earned money because they saved their money with unreliable institutions. Be financially smart and stay safe always. Let me know where you're watching this video from in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done so by now. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so by now. And until I bring another juicy and interesting story your way again, bye for now.